Hi everyone. So today's class is called What Will People Say? And it's amusing to record this with no participants online. And it led me to think whether I should record this or not. And that's exactly the irony that most of the women after marriage, they don't want to discuss about their marital difficulties because they are scared what will people say. So many women who work with me, they come up with things like, if I say this and if my family watches it and if they see me talking like this, it will ruin everything. It will ruin the harmony in my house. What will they think of me? And they simply don't show up for their own well-being, their own healing. They feel their feelings are not something that should be voiced out or worked upon or discussed or shared in the first place. So many of us, we keep our feelings inside. We think it is not affecting us. It is not going to impact us in major ways, but it does. Over a long period of time, it does. So I'm going to take this class nonetheless because I sincerely sit here as a conduit for my women ancestors, my men ancestors. I see all of them standing and wanting this to be taken care of. So I sit here, I become the channel, I invite their blessings on me, and I also invite their blessings for all of you who is going to watch this so that you can receive whatever you are supposed to receive, so that you can gather courage for your own well-being, so that you understand that you matter, you are important, and your feelings are important. All right. So even though this is called What Will People Say, I'm going to break this down into What Will Papa Say? More often than not, it is not about people. And I'm going to take you to a journey into the past so that you can see how your mindset, your fears, your strengths, they develop and how they start acting up when you become adults, when you become married, when you are living as a responsible adult in this world. So I have grown up with my mom and dad and two siblings and my grandmother in my house. My grandmother, ever since I was born, so when I say grandmother, this is my paternal grandmother, mother of my father. Okay. So ever since I was born, I saw her as a widow, a woman who is really alone, and she lived like that for, so my grandfather, my father's father, he died when my father was 10 years old, approximately 10 or 12. And my father grew up with his brothers, and his eldermost brother was married when my grandfather died. So even his wife took care of my father growing up, and he saw his mother in a very victimized state ever since he lost his father. As a 10-year-old, there is no concept in a baby's head as to what death is, what life is. They simply don't understand how to process the absence of their parent. They don't know. And all they know is that their father is not going to return. All he knew was that his father is not going to return, that he's gone. He's gone somewhere. And what that, what an event like this, what can it do to the brain, to the mindset, to the perception of life, is not something that is temporary or can be ignored. That is something that stays on, not just for him, but for generations to follow. So this was a little bit about, who I have grown up with. So coming back, two siblings, my mom and dad, and my paternal grandmother. This was my environment growing up. So the only woman, like the adult that I had in house, was my mom and my paternal grandmother. And the male, the adult male, was my father. So whatever I perceive about life, about being an adult, showing up in the world, what is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I should not do, what kind of choice I should make, I should not make, it will come from the way they are living their life. It will not come from what they are telling me. Whatever you have been told, okay, that is one part. But when you are growing up, we are very intelligent. Human beings are very intelligent. They know what is happening. You will not just listen to what they are saying. You will see how they are behaving. You will see how their face looks. You can almost understand, even as a baby, that your mom is upset, that your dad is very much silent, that they are not even hugging in front of me. Where's the love? Is it all about duties? Is life all about being dutiful? Is life all about being very successful, having all achievements, doing all your work perfectly, taking on every responsibility, not showing your emotions and pretending everything is okay? Is that what life is? That's my question. Even though that is not what life is, life has a lot to offer. But when I am growing up in an environment that is day in, day out telling me how life is as an adult, I start preparing my brain accordingly. I start preparing my thoughts accordingly. I start preparing my choices accordingly. So, what is already developed in your brain, in your mind, it is not coming from what you have heard, what you think you should do, what you think from looking at others. There are so many instances when you might look at someone and you are like, how can this person be so free? How can they just do like this and be like this? And I, on the other hand, I'm just so scared. or I just don't have an opportunity. How many times have you felt this way that, no matter what, I just can't break out of this? What you can't break out of is actually that mindset. It is not your environment. It is not your situations. Your situations will come up in life again and again to remind you of your fears, to remind you of what you have perceived in life. And until you take a step to change that within you, your environment will not be able to reflect that change. For example, if you are someone who is really caring in nature, who knows how to care for other people's feelings, who knows how to understand even when someone is not telling you directly, who knows how to understand how will something make them feel. If you are a person who is so caring of other people's feelings that she is willing to diminish her own desire and doesn't even think of it as a big deal, if you are someone like that, life will give you n number of situations where you will have to sacrifice your own desire or give up your sacrifice is a big word, so give up or diminish your own desire in order to take care of other people's feelings. Life will again and again give you situations until you step up for your own self and you start caring for your own desires, just like you are able to care for other people's desires. Hi, Jasmeet.
Good. Good. Good.
Hi. Can you go on mute, Jasmeet? Is that okay? Yeah. No worries, no worries. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. I am audible to you, right? Just you can just mention yes or no in the chat box. Yes. Okay. So I was just saying that okay, I actually lost track, but I'm going to actually give you a little brief of the theme. Okay. So as I started today's session, when I saw no one showing up, I felt this deep urge of still conducting and facilitating because I wanted to be out there for women who probably don't show up to these sessions because even that brings up the question, what will people say? What if my video is seen by my family and by people, my husband? What if they get to know about my feelings? Yeah, agreed. Yeah. And it's so difficult. Like, we can come up and we can talk about health issues openly. We can talk about money issues even openly. But when it comes to talking about your feelings and your difficulties in your marital life, people just don't show up. And even though there is a deep desire to work on it, there is a deep desire to improve your married life, there's a deep desire to have real connections, even then, this is something that we are unable to prioritize for our own selves because of the kind of mindset we have developed as we were growing up about marriage, about life, about responsibilities, about duties, all of that, it doesn't allow us to prioritize our own feelings and our own lives. Okay. So I was just saying that I grew up with two of my siblings, my mom and dad, and my paternal grandmother. Okay. These were the people I grew up with. So the women in the house were my mom and my paternal grandmother. So I would request you, Jasmeet, to go back to the recording and watch the first 15-20 minutes. And I'm going to continue from here. Okay? That sounds okay? Yeah. Okay. So even though there were 5 people in the house, apart from me, it is not just those 5 people who are contributing to my mindset. It goes way back. Okay. So my mom, who is grown up with her siblings and mom and dad, she developed her mindset and her perception of life from her home. And my dad, who grew up in his home with his siblings, his parents, he developed a perception of life, a way of life from his home. So they both carry a different mindset and they come together, and all of the stories, all of the events that has contributed to their personality, to their mindset, that will also become relevant to me. It's like a flow. Okay, it's like a flow. It is not something that has started with my birth. My mindset was, the blueprint, I would say, of my mindset was there even before I was born. It was there through the lives of people who were living before me. The way they were perceiving life, the way they were acting for their own selves, that will have a strong impact on my development, on my growth, on how I will be able to take actions or make choices different from what has been done before. For example, if you go for an investment, you mostly rely on past data. You look at how other people in your house or in your circle are investing. You see, okay, this is where everybody is investing, and you start feeling, okay, then I think that this should be fine. We always try to go to the past data to understand if something is worth investing right now. Similarly, when we are perceiving life, when we are perceiving relationships, we are knowingly and unknowingly tapping into the past data. What has been done before? What did my mom do? What did my dad do? How would they behave in a situation like this? And if I'm not doing the same thing, am I wrong or am I right? So a great part of becoming an adult, a true adult, is knowing how to choose, even if it is not in accordance or in alignment with what has happened before. It can be something new, which probably is not even talked about when I was growing up. I can try new things. Where's the fear? Why is the fear coming along? Why is there so much fear and there's so much sense of right and wrong, whether this is right, whether this is wrong? So in the beginning, I said, even though the class is called What Will People Say, it is actually to be seen as what will Papa say? What will my father say? And why do I mention specifically father? I will give an example for that. Okay, we live in a patriarchal setup, and even though you are a woman, I am a woman, we still have a mindset which is a patriarchal mindset. So, for example, I'll go to some facts of my family. And for example, my paternal grandmother, which is my mom's mom, sorry, maternal, my maternal grandmother, which is my mom's mom, my Nani ji, she got married when she was 16. And my Dadi ji, which is my paternal grandmother, got married when she was 13 years old. My mom got married when she was 18, almost 18 years old. And my dad got married when he was 25. There were significant differences in the age of a couple if you go further back. Okay. Think of a woman who is getting married at a young age, who is already so dependent in her mind. Will she be able to even understand what are her own needs and wants? She is probably not even given the education, the coaching to understand how can she stand up for her own self. Today, when I look back at my grandmother's life, so I'm coming to my Dadiji's life first. She's the woman who has been a very core part of my growing up. Like the 5 people that I grew up with, she was one of them, and she died in 2012. So I will talk a little bit about her life to give a glimpse. So she lost her husband, which is my father's father, at a time when she had children. And my father, being the youngest, was 10 years old. And after that, she lived for another 42 years. During those 42 years, so when I was born, I have always seen my grandmother wearing a white sari, and she did not even have other color clothes. Forget about making choices for herself, which would be like probably going out, meeting another guy, giving herself another chance. Forget about those things. She did not even allow herself to wear a different color after her husband died. And nobody in my home also, while I was growing up, I did not see anyone even questioning that. Not even me, nobody. Nobody questioned her and told her or asked her that, why only this? You can wear other colors. Your life is still there. Even though somebody has died, she was still living. What is the cost that a woman is wired to pay, not realizing that it is not normal? What we all think is normal, is that really normal? Do you think this is normal? The way this whole mindset, this whole patriarchal mindset is structured, and the way we also have it, we start feeling scared when we do something which is coming from an individual desire, which has nothing to do with anybody else, probably. I would like to think that my grandmother could have, even though she lived what she had to live, I'm not questioning her fate, but she could have had another chance at relationships. It was possible, right? It's possible. But I did not see anyone or anything even talking about this at a time when I was growing up. So the kind of, okay, so there's a comment. Same here. I saw my grandmother in those white clothes all the time. Yeah. So what does that do to a little girl, Jasmeet? Never question. Yeah, because we are not wired to question. We are wired to see and absorb and understand as if this is all life has to offer. But is that true? Is that really true? What you have seen in your home is just an example of life. And even though you are wired to think that this is all life is, if we expand our wiring, if we work on our mindset, we will be able to see life is beyond that. Today, when I question, this is for all of you, Jasmeet, and everyone who is listening, the power of questioning is something that can change your life drastically. Okay. When I say questioning, the questioning is not about why me. मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों होता है? मैं ही क्यों इसमें फंस जाती हूँ? Why is this always happening? Why does nobody understand? Why is everyone always like this? Why am I not standing up for myself? This is not questioning. Even though it looks like questioning, but this is not questioning. This is a way of simply getting sucked in that situation of poor me. Okay, this is not questioning. Questioning is, okay, I see myself in a pattern of not standing up for myself. So what would it take for me to stand up for myself? And asking that question again and again, what would it take for me to stand up for myself? What can I do here? How can I help myself? How can I grow? What inside of me is stopping me from claiming my own space in this home, in this world, in this life? And when you ask questions, you come from a space of curiosity, not from a space of judgment, where you have already judged your life, you have already made conclusions that this is it, and my life is already hell. And when you come from a space of already criticizing yourself so much or criticizing others, it doesn't help. The answers doesn't come. You don't listen to the answer if they come. Questioning comes from a space of curiosity and genuine care for your own self. You are alive in this body, and that is the first home that you need to take care of. Everything outside is secondary. And that is not something that I'm saying. That is a very factual thing that we need to realize as merely human beings. This is where you are residing. That is the first home. So if you don't know how to understand your feelings, how to make space for your own desires, how will you contribute to anything outside? It is bound to exhaust you. It is bound to make you feel overwhelmed or burned out or scattered, because I'm not coming from a space of centeredness. I'm coming from a space of why me or poor me. That space, that space that I'm operating from, that is an internal thing. That is an internal work. This is not something that started building after your marriage. It only started manifesting or activated itself after marriage, probably. But you had this message of what marriage is when you grew up and you saw the first married couple, which is your mom and dad, or maybe your uncles and aunts, or maybe your grandparents. But the first marriage that you have seen is the core template of the brain, of the mindset that you carry. And it has a strong impact on your emotional understanding of your relationship. So I'm going to give another example. I was mentioning about the age gap between couples earlier and how a 13-year-old girl is supposed to even understand, right, her own desires. So what happened with women like them? What happened? They got married and they simply started adjusting to the needs of the new system, to the asks of the new system without questioning, without asking. And I still remember what my Nani ji said, my maternal grandmother said, when I asked her, how did you feel when you got married at 16 years of age? I actually asked her this question. And there's a little bit of story to her marriage, because before her marriage, my Nana was married. When I say my Nana, it's my maternal grandfather. He was married to another woman who died in an accident after a couple of years. And she was also pregnant with a 7-month-old baby. So he lost his family before he was married again with my Nani ji after a few months of his first wife's death. So when I asked my Nani ji that how did you feel as a 16-year-old, I also asked her, how did you feel being the second wife of Nana ji? Did that raise any question? Did you ask anything to your father or your mom? She simply said that it was a time when you were not supposed to ask, and you were supposed to assume that whatever your father has thought for you, that is right for you. So even though she had this feeling, she told me that I had this feeling that why am I like why am I becoming second wife of someone? Is there something which is wrong with me? And instead of asking that question outside, she simply concluded that there is probably something wrong with her, and that is why her father is getting her married to this man who was already earlier married and had a family, even though they did not survive. That's true, right? So my Nani ji simply believed that whatever my father has thought for me, it must be right. It just, even if it doesn't feel right to me, it must be right. This is how we, this mindset, okay, is wired, not just from the time you were born or I was born. It is being wired and given to us from generations and generations and generations. You can probably think that, there's problem in your environment, or my husband is not doing this, that's the problem. My in-laws are saying that's the problem, or they don't understand, or maybe I deserve this. You might think that this is the issue, but no. The thing is that the mindset we developed long back, they all come up to surface when we are adulting, when we are getting married, when we are becoming parents. It all starts coming up. And it is our responsibility to deal with those feelings so that we can expand this framework and we can have a chance at living life more expansively, more fully. So when my Naniji said that probably probably there's something wrong with me, that is why he's doing this, but he's doing the best for me. That made me realize how there was this blind trust that, my father knows better. And even if it doesn't align with my feelings, I should give in to his point of view. And I should not acknowledge how I feel. This is how we have already wired ourselves to not prioritize how we feel. And I'm coming to a story of my generation. I mean, this is third generation, right? I'm not going beyond third generation, even though the flow is coming from generations and generations, but I'm sticking myself to third for better understanding. So my elder sister got divorced when I was, so this happened in 2016. Yeah, 16, 15. Yes. So it's 8 years ago. So my elder sister decided to get a divorce for whatever reasons. I'm not going to the reasons right now, but when she was taking that decision, when she was into her first marriage and she was into that space mentally where she knew that she cannot stay longer into that marriage, it took her months and months to come to a state of mind to prioritize her choice. And even after doing that, there was a lot of discussions for another 2 years, after which those papers were signed and she got divorced. There's this whole taboo around divorces and everything. I'm not going there. I am talking about the mindset of a woman. And I'm going to mention just one thing that kept me struck for so long. When I asked her, what made you think so much before coming to your own house? If you were not feeling right, you could have come sooner. We could have, and that doesn't mean that the marriage is over. There can be a lot of work that two people can do together to be together. If they truly are willing to understand their emotions, there is a lot that can be done. So I'm not talking about a decision. I am only talking about being able to choose. If I'm not feeling right, I can go. Why did you not choose that earlier? Why did you not share your feelings with us earlier? And she told me that she was scared that what will happen if she tells this and she gets divorced. What if we, her little siblings, we don't get married? What will people in the society say? What if nobody would want to marry in a family where there is already a divorce? So she kept silent and she kept suffering because she was scared of affecting the lives of her siblings. This is one branch of it. The other branch, the main branch, I would say, is when she was thinking of even coming back home and acknowledging her feelings and just be true to herself. The main worry that kept her awake during nights was, will my father be able to handle this? How will he feel? Will he acknowledge this? Will he give her space? Will he, how would he feel about his image in the society? What will people start saying if this happens, that the girl has come back home? After marriage, if a girl wants to even contemplate her relationship, it is seen as a very big thing socially. Even though there is so much social stigma, in truth, there is just one thing happening. There is a girl who is feeling something, who wants to prioritize her feelings, and who wants to truly be in a relationship where she can feel loved and reciprocate with the other person, where she can feel connected. What if it is just that? What if we just start looking at the truth and we don't merge with all the stigma and the fear and everything that is going out? Today, as I'm talking, I know my video will be seen by people. I don't know how many people, but it will be seen by people. All I'm doing is I am being true to whatever I feel is it, and I want to be a part of it. I'm just listening to the call of my own soul, to my own desire. And I'm learning and I'm educating myself day in, day out. I'm working on my emotions because that is what makes me feel expanded. Now, do I have to take someone's permission to do that? Am I supposed to think what will my father say? What will my mother say? What will my husband say? Am I supposed to prioritize all of this in life? If I keep doing that, there is nothing wrong or right, by the way. You can keep doing that. If I keep doing that, all I will feel is resentment and betrayal towards myself. I will feel resentful because someday I will start feeling the pull, that urge, and I will start feeling as nobody, why nobody understands. When will someone see what I'm doing? There is only resentment left if we keep on doing this again and again. What if you start working on your emotions, you learn how to prioritize yourself, you heal that original template that you have developed growing up, and you work on your mindset, you create a mindset. Becoming a creator of your own life is possible. You can do that, and you don't need anyone else for that. You need you. And you have these spaces, these amazing spaces where you can come, you can show up, you can work on yourself, and you go back with that sense of self, that renewed sense of self. I cannot begin to, I cannot even, think of sharing the kind of value it can give to your life, because it's an experiential process. If you allow yourself to go through the experience, you will see yourself transforming in a beautiful way, just like that butterfly in the poster for this class. Coming out of the cocoon, it requires work. We need to feel safe and secure to be able to come out of that cocoon and share what we feel. We have not seen that in and around us growing up. So the more you work on that safety, the more you work on knowing yourself better, you will see you have this inner centeredness of putting your point of views, of prioritizing yourself. And when you do that, you feel more present in your relationships, not just marriage, every relationship. All sorts of dynamic will improve. Does that make sense, Jasmeet? Are you there? Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to just share a little bit. I'm going to stop here. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to stop here with this class. Okay. Can you see the screen? Is it visible to you? Okay. Thank you. So this is a space that has found its creation through me. This is called Marriage School, and we are going to begin in August, and we are going to continue till March 2024. This is the first level that I have designed. After we are done with the journey of August to March, we will probably understand how to design level 2. So I'm going to do that organically. So currently I'm only announcing the first round, the first batch, which is August to March. It will consist of minimum 20 sessions. I will also have some support sessions designed, but it will have a minimum of 20 sessions. Why 20? Why such a long period of time? Because I just mentioned that that safety and security to work on your mindset, to take the experience. It requires time, it requires space, and it requires regular practice. Okay. So the early bird price is available till 30th of June. We are already at 24th. There are 2 batches. One batch will be on every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. These are the dates of the 20 sessions. The second batch would be every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. And these are the dates of the second cohort. You can take a screenshot of this when you go back to the recording. You can do it now if you want to keep it. It's nice to have the date so you will have an idea. The early bird price, which is available till 30th June, is rupee 1 lakh. And then the regular price will be applicable from 1st of July, which is 1,33,000. This whole experience is going to feel like an absolute steal at this price when you are inside it. In the first month, you will start feeling that this has been the best investment of your life. And be rest assured about it. The initial choice, like I said, can be difficult because of the wiring and the way we have learned prioritization, the way we make choices. So the initial choice can feel a little difficult. Once you are in the choice, once you make the payment, you're inside the container, your life will start shifting from there itself. And by the end of the first month, I'm not even saying till March, by the end of the first month, you will start feeling that this is the investment of your life. So please allow yourself to consciously think about it, because if you think that it will automatically come to you, I think that's difficult. The kind of wiring we have, we always keep this our own selves at last somewhere. We don't realize the value of emotional stability, emotional security. So yeah, and if you have any questions, you can get on a personal consult call with me. If you have any questions regarding the format, regarding how it will help you, or regarding the price, or how to make the choice, I'm going to help you with every query that you have so that you can make an informed decision, and you can be rest assured that this space is going to help you and this is going to give you what you need. Okay. So this is the process of registration. You just need to send a WhatsApp text with your selected cohort and the message "I am in" with the payment screenshot of INR 1 lakh to block your seat. This is available till 30th June. And after the receipt of your text, your registration will be confirmed and you will receive a welcome email within 24 hours from our end. So looking forward. Allow yourself to experience the power of healing, the power of truth and expansion from within. There is absolutely nothing more powerful than knowing your own power in your life. Okay. There are only 9 seats, so this is a slight change. Earlier, there were 12 seats. There are only 9 seats available in each cohort. Kindly register before the batch is full. So we are going to be a circle of 10 maximum in one batch. And it will be a very intimate experience throughout 8 months. We are going to have an online space where we are going to have intimate conversations, and we will obviously have regular sessions. Those sessions and that space is extremely private to the group. So be rest assured it will all be within that space. Okay. Yeah, this is the energy of 10. And I'm going to talk about this in another class probably. But yeah, this is the energy of 10 and how, I came to realize we are going to be 10 in a circle. So we are going to work on all of these energies during the entire period of marriage school. And yeah, I'm not going deeper into this now. We'll go deeper. So this is where I would stop sharing. Is this clear, Jasmeet? Do you have any questions regarding the offer or regarding today's class? Do you have any question? All right. All right. One takeaway before you leave, Jasmeet, before we end the class, what is your takeaway, major takeaway from today? You can type it out. I know that, you already texted that you won't be able to talk. So you can type. The major takeaway for me is that we never question few things. We should question and expand ourselves. Beautiful, beautiful. We must question and we must know how to question, okay? Not the why me, the poor me kind. And please go back to the recording, watch this again. It will contribute immensely to your life. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmeet, and thank you everyone who is going to listen, who's going to receive. Please open yourself to receive. Everything will start making sense when you open your mind to receive. Okay, so open yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.